Welcome to University of Civils IAS Academy. We are the best IAS Academy in Andhra Pradesh. So we already done with the first part of the video, and now we are looking at the second part of the video. In this video, we will come to know how to prepare for APCF and what are the ranks in their department and how is the syllabus and how to prepare and how to manage our time and with the amicable way. So that we are going to look into this particular part. And if you indeed looking for a seat to be reserved, call on that number 8500625715, and we offer online, offline postal and test series also. It will definitely helpful for you for the more in a better way. So the hierarchy in EPFO is as this. So the last position or the first starting position is always the multitasking staff. And once you are reached to a certain level, you will become a DEO, data entry operator. Then you will become the social security assistant or a senior social security assistant. That is nothing but the section supervisor. Once you're done with that, enforcement officer or an accounts officer. A person has been chosen to take enforcement officer, and the government will give training in enforcement at the same time in accounts also. They can be used in both the departments. And once you're done with a certain number of experience and you're eligible to write the examination for the Assistant Provident Fund Commissioner exam, and once you get selected, you will become an Assistant Provident Fund Commissioner, or now this exam also will help you to get directly into that. Okay, once you have attained a 4 or 5 years of experience, you will become the Regional Commissioner 2, and again after certain experience you will become Regional Commissioner 1. The one normally Regional Commissioner will be heading that particular region. Under him there are at least 2 or 3 Assistant Provident Fund Commissioners and Regional Commissioners will be there. And after him the Additional Central Provident Fund Commissioner and Additional Central Commissioner, who he is the head of the headquarters. Like normally additional CPFC is like he is the head of the complete state. So all the regional commissioners and everyone has to report to him itself. On the above, the Central Provident Fund Commissioner. So if you start a career in Assistant Provident Fund Commissioner, you will reach up to the level of Additional Central Commissioner itself, and you will get retired there itself. So normally the Central Provident Fund Commissioner is an IAS officer and who will come from the government side itself. That person will head this wing. So it's a two-tier exam, like you have a test and then an interview. If the applications are more in number, then the government definitely conducts the test and then followed by an interview. If the applications are very low in number, then they'll go with the interview itself. That is already mentioned in the notification. Okay, so it's a two-stage exam and very simple. One who is already preparing for the civil service examination, it's a golden opportunity for them to prepare for this exam. Previous exam, the cutoff is like this. So let's look or more in detail. In 2002, when this exam notification came, that time the marks is 100. So from 2002 to 2023, the marks are same, like 100 marks itself. The number of questions are 120 and the time is 2 hours. That is also common. But when 2002, there is no negative marking at all. But 2004, there is a negative mark came into scene. From 2004 to 2023, there is a negative marking. And now also the same, like you have 100 marks and 120 questions and 2 hours time. The syllabus for EVO and the AVO and to the ACPF. So if you prepare for the highest exam like ACPF, then obviously you are preparing for EVO, AVO itself. Nothing to worry. So the point is that here we should have to prepare for Assistant Commissioner Provident Fund itself. It makes us help more. So the syllabus, what makes a difference? The first part that you have to study is like industrial relations and labor law, because other parts, like normally this exam will be given by most of the civil servant aspirants itself, because they are the one who check regularly the UPSC and the special advertisement also. And there are very less number of people who are waiting for this particular exam itself, or they would have already done with their attempts in civils, so they would be waiting for to write this exam. So I suggest you, first of all, you have to focus on industrial relations and labor law, which is more component or the biggest component in your bits. So first of all, our point is to highlight industrial relations and labor law. How many labor laws are there? How the industrial relations have started? That all we have to look in. And the second part is accounting and auditing. And the third part is insurance. That's also very key part. And the fourth part is the population development and globalization. How much population has been developed? If the population is increasing a lot, then what is the kind of development procedure that is happening, and the globalization also. What is the other social security awareness that has been there in other countries, comparing with our country, and the policy always determined, or the policy is developed or devised on base of population always. So we will look into that particular part. That's the fourth important one. And the social security in India. See, when the moment you talk about the social security in India, you would have already finished industrial relation labor laws itself. So more in detail, what is the basic nature, what is the objective of the act, that we are going to read in social security in India. And after finishing that part, Indian culture and heritage makes more prominent to you, the freedom movement and culture events. And the last and final is elementary maths and stat. These are the extra part that has more momentum in comparing with the EO to APCF exam. So if you are done with the ACPF syllabus more in nature, obviously you are more qualified to be an EO. I mean, like, it is easy to crack that exam. So be prepared for Assistant Provident Fund Commissioner exam itself. Don't try to prepare EO alone itself. So this is the syllabus that you have to run through. So industrial relation labor law. So first of all, what we have to look into this. So if you don't have a syllabus, so please look at this particular syllabus and try to note it down with a paper and a pen. So overview of industrial relation, how these industrial relations have started, and how when these companies arose, that all we will see in over here. Indian Labour Force, Trade Union, ILO, International Labour Organization, collective bargaining, industrial discipline, grievancy procedures, industrial conflict and disputes and settlement, labour welfare and wages, workers' participation and management, industrial health and safety. So coming to the point of labour law, Payment of Management Act 1936, Minimum Wages Act 1948, Industrial Employment Act 1946, Trade Union Act 1926, Factories Act 1948, Industrial Dispute Act 1947. And coming to the point of insurance, we will see what is the basic definition of the insurance and the concepts below it, and what is the difference between an insurance and a risk, and what are the different parts of the insurance we'll see, what is the methodology of the insurance, and the terminologies related to that also we will look in. And we will see the doctrines and principles also. These are the doctrines. We have almost 7 doctrines or principles you call, and this has to be followed, and a policy has to be there. When a policy is been reaching to the public, these are the things that has to be existed. Okay, and there are type of insurance also. So everything you can take insurance. So we will have that insurance also, and how insurance became a social security also we will see. What is type of social securities, and what kind of social securities are available by this government and previous government, what are the policies that are continuing as of now, and after retirement what are the things that you got, that also we will look into picture. And social security acts, Employee Compensation Act 1923, ESIC Act 1948, EPF and MP Act 952, Maternity Benefit and Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. And the most important point again, people who have been preparing in competitive examination, it won't be much tough with the elementary maths. See, here we are not discussing elementary maths because people of any people who have completed 10th class and came up to this level and writing this exam, not a big deal with the maths, because they can prepare, or they can at least give out of 50 or 20 questions, they can at least give 5 or 2 questions or 10 questions. Doesn't matter to them. But what is more important over here is stat. Introduction of stat, role of data in stat, type of statistics, sampling, how to collect the sampling, frequency distribution, frequency of diagrams, what are the different type of sampling methods also we will look into picture, the kind of errors, method of central tendency, so we will see mean, median, mode, those things, and measure of dispersions. And the rest of the subjects are very common, like accountancy and accounting. These are also more important that we will look into the picture. So the rest of other subjects, taking these subjects away, and these are the new subject that has been added. Even if who is preparing for civils or who is preparing for any competitive examination, this subject that you have to read more in number, because most of the questions will come from this particular era itself. So rest of the subjects are common and normal. We will have a detailed discussion with those videos also. So let's start with the first part, industrial relations and labor law. So the next video, what we are going to discuss is, we'll schedule out. So the 6 or 7 months, how to schedule it, and which subject has to come first and which subject has to be looked later, and when is the test series, planning of the examination, material, and everything we will look in. So the online videos for labor and social security, insurance and other topics will come into picture through this itself. So please subscribe, or if you want to enroll for the class itself, call directly to that number for the material or test series or anything. Okay, and you can follow us on YouTube itself. So subscribe and keep a bell icon, hang that bell so that you will get your videos on time, and we will deliver the videos completely over here too. So if you like the content on this, like, share, subscribe. So YouTube, Telegram is UCIAS Vizag 1, FB UCIAS University of Civils IAS Academy, and Blogspot we have written so many articles in it, and there is a website also, Instagram also you can follow. Thank you.